Welcome back to the AJC. I'm Alberto, and I'm extremely happy to bring to you this video. The first time I could welcome an ex-player to the show and channel. Not just an ex-Juventus player, but a legend. Roberto Bettega, Bobby Goal himself, joined me for a brief interview. He was in Toronto with the Juventus official fan club Toronto, which is also named after him, the biggest one outside of Italy, receiving his legacy award. He surprised the fan club and those members by joining them for the watch party for the game the day prior. Imagine being a part of a fan club and Roberto Bettega walks in to watch a Juventus game with you. Incredible stuff. But big thank you going out to my friend, president of Juventus Official Fan Club Toronto and head of Juventus Official Fan Clubs North America, John Groh, for allowing me the opportunity to sit down with Roberto Bettega. He's a great man, a humble man, and one thing's for sure that shines through in this interview, his love for Juventus and his passion is as strong as ever. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And remember, this is the first of many more to come. All right, so excited to have you with me, Roberto. It's an absolute honor to have you on. We have some questions about your time at Juventus and everything. So first off, thank you for coming and taking the time. And I know you were part of the watch party with the fan club in Toronto yesterday. That must have been a great time for all involved.
Had a great time for me too because it means that they remember Bettega player or Juventus player and was my only team. The other one was Toronto Blizzard for 2 years, but at the end of my career, when I decided it was impossible for me to play in another Italian club
Yeah.
after Juventus. And so I thought that this experience or the experience in Canada, in North America, could be good for me.
Because you went through the youth sector of Juventus too, right? Before making the breakthrough.
My first day in Juventus, I was 9 years old and 9 months
Wow.
before having 10 years. So it means that was 1959.
Wow.
Just Juventus, I spent all my 10 years with the youth system. And then I had a great opportunity because Juventus, 1 year before, Juventus had Anastasi from Varese. The second year I had Leonardi from Varese. And for what I know, one man, the name was Niels Lidolm, said, I want Bettega from Juventus. And I was a young player, never in the first team and so on. And that was my lucky time because I spent all the year. We won the league. I won the top scorer league in Serie B, and so I was able to show to Juventus who I was. And so
Yeah.
the year the after year I went back to Juventus.
Your debut was actually against Catania on September 27th, 1970 there, and you scored the winning goal, whatnot.
Of course, but you know why? Was the 27th of September. And 27, I was born the 27. I get married the 27. They were paying the salary the 27. So
There you go. It's written in the stars.
impossible to do something bad at the 27.
That's amazing. What was it like for you to make that step when you finally got to be with the first team at Juventus?
No, but you know, what was important was that Picchi, because he was the coach of Juventus,
Yeah.
was able to see something in Bettega. And so the first game I was playing titolare, I mean in the pitch, not in the bench or something like that. And so the meaning is having, yeah, he was believing in me, you know, and forgive for my English. Sometimes I make some mistakes. But then scoring the goal the first game, being, you know, it's. is like a dream. If I think
Yeah.
now, it looks. But are you? Who is this guy? So happy and so lucky. Who is?
It's great to hear stories like this because you are a Juventino, just like us, all the fans, and you are that was living your dream, living all of our dreams to play for Juventus, and especially to be such a catalyst and whatnot for them. You shared the locker room with a lot of great players as well. Tardelli, Cabrini, Gentile, Zoffa, Scirea, just to name a few. What was that locker room like with that team?
No, but don't forget that there was maybe more difficult the first year. Going and to play with Helmut Haller, with and then with when came Jose Altafini. For a boy like me, and playing with Pietro Anastasi and
Yeah,
uh, and Salvador but what is important is to learn. I was learning from them because I knew that they had more experience, more, and so I was putting myself, but using their experience and so on. So at the end of the story, let's say that was easier,
it was
but
easier because of them.
no, because they were really good men, not
Yeah.
just players. And so they were helping me, and so and you understand that when I talk about the past, I could cry, and I want to be back.
Again, you talk about the early years being tough because you were so young and you broke through, and having those guys. The Shirea is one that gets talked about a lot because my generation would not. We never get to see him play or anything like that. Some Juventini, and this was put forth by followers that watch our channel. They said, "Is there anything you tell us about Shirea? Is he over? Is he not appreciated enough about what a great defender he was?"
No, I can't. You know why? Because we were together in the same room for 8 years. So I left Shirea when came Liam Brady,
Yeah,
and so I was already speaking a little bit of English, and so they said, "Okay, you have to go with Brady," and so Gaetano went with Dino Zoff.
yeah,
But it's difficult to say and to talk about how good was Shirea because you remember immediately that he's no more here for many years, and so I feel still unhappy about that.
yeah,
Uh, so great, so big, so intelligent, because he was ready to come out of his rule, imposing the game and so on. So let's say that he was playing in the 70s. He was not a player of the 70s. Wasn't the player of the 2000. Was one step
yeah,
over.
yeah.
One step over.
Ahead of his time. Out of all the players you've been with and whatnot, who was the one that probably helped you the most?
You know, uh, if I'm going to say something, I am going to say something against the others.
Because there were so many.
So many, but the question is that you should be so honest with yourself, and you have to know that you have to learn.
Yeah,
So it's not a question of because I was learning from Dino Zoff because he won the World Cup. He was 40 years old. What is the meaning? That was a professional, a perfect professional. Okay, you can say that being a goalkeeper, you don't have the fight, you don't have. He doesn't care. He was strong here in
yeah,
his mind. Don't forget that in '78, Dino Zoff in Argentina, we're talking now about the national team, was no, Zoff did very bad and so on. 4 years later, in '82, the age was 40 years. He won the World Cup. with Italy. What it means that he's not just a great player, he's a great man. Was he is a great man, you know. That
Absolutely.
so I say Dino Zoff is a special one, but I think that I was able and lucky to learn from many players, even if they were not playing in the same position. But being a player is something that is not related to your position.
Yeah. Great insight into Dino Zoff too, and speaking to that character building at Juventus, which we as fans have always felt that way. Many great players that have played for us and whatnot, and legends and whatnot, and you could see that they usher in the next wave and try and groom them. So you providing us that insight is fantastic.
Don't forget that my last year with Juventus, losing the final of the Champions League, I was playing with, and the five players in front of Juventus: Tardelli, Rossi, Platini, Boniek, and myself.
Yeah,
And we are lost 1-0.
I know,
And so you
unbelievable.
understand what Juventus was and what Juventus is for
Yeah.
me.
You've got many goals to your name, obviously, including one in the 77 UEFA Cup final and whatnot. Which one stands out to you the most out of all the goals you've scored? Is there one that just always stays with you?
Not just with me, but is the second goal against AC Milan in Milano in 1971, when I scored first with the head, and second, I don't know how to say it, di tacco, the famous goal di tacco. And was a special one, not just for me, but for everybody. But what the meaning was that my mind was free. Even playing in between or in front of 80,000 people, I was not thinking about the 80,000. I was thinking about how to score the goal. So my mind was free. And this, for a boy of 20 years old, not yet, still 20, but almost 21, was important. And then it was important even for Juventus because it was a game where we thought at the end, okay, we are a good team. We are, and so was the first Scudetto.
What was it like being in the office after your playing days with Juventus and being a part of building some of the best clubs, best squads that they've ever had, And obviously, Moji was around for the later years.
Dr. Giraudo too, don't forget.
Yeah,
Listen, was making the second dream. Because when I said at the beginning that I left Juventus but I came here, no other clubs. What is the meaning? That I was waiting Juventus anyway. And so the call from Juventus came a few years later, but came.
yeah,
And, for me, I was ready to give everything. And I am happy that we were able, I was part of a period that we won against 7 leagues. We won the Champions League, the Intercontinental Cup, 2 Italian Cups. So it means something,
absolutely.
especially when we talk about Champions League. Please forget we don't talk anymore about Champions League, but uh, it's difficult to explain. But what was the emotions? It's I am still emotion now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Your passion and your love for the club will never ever be questioned. It's coming through just in your answers, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. It is the 100th year anniversary of the Agnelli family's involvement with Juventus. Your thoughts on being a part of that, and what you can say to your involvement with the Agnellis?
No, the real secret of Juventus is what you are saying now. Because tell me who has or had the same ownership from 100 years. Tell me who?
I can't.
And let's say a winning team. But the continuity, we are not the continuity. The continuity is the family. Is Juventus is always Juventus because they are there. That's what is was important and is important. Because I don't know, but tell me if you know some other clubs with the same ownership from 100 years.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, it's the same for me.
Yeah.
But it's not the question then the 100 years, but it's the question that how winning was that team
Yeah.
or this team. It's because I'm saying the continuity is the family.
Yeah.
We are not the continuity because we have a period, 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, I don't know, but 100 years,
Yeah.
Agnelli family.
What does it feel like having the biggest fan club outside of Italy named after you, and you're getting the legacy award from them and whatnot? What is that like for you?
But it means that when I came, I did something. but it's special, not just as a player, but as a man, because I was here 40 years ago, and I am still here, coming before COVID every month or something like that. What is the meaning? We are not talking about Toronto is the best team city in the world. No, it's the people, are the friends. For this that I am here, not
Yeah.
for uh, it means that I have two love, Juventus and Toronto. Let's say my wife is not listening the program.
And give you a name of a player, and you just give me a name associate just give me an association with one word that you think of when you hear the name, just for fun. All right. The
No,
first one we will say
is not a fun. What I am saying, and is not why I am unhappy about. But I would like to say Gaetano Scirea.
Shirea. What are your thoughts, obviously, as a Juventino, lifelong Juventino? How do you see this current Juventus squad and this particular season?
But the team is not doing bad because and I would like not to talk about something, but don't forget that if we put on the Classifica
In the
some
table, yeah.
points, Juventus is not doing so bad. Forget the Sassuolo game.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, it's not a nice, good year for the Champions League that Juventus is out. And then, of course, it's not so nice. But Juventus is still fighting in the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
Next week we'll play an important game. So, and when we are talking about Juventus, I am a special one. So I maybe I'm not so clear, but because he's always here inside,
Yeah.
and so let's see the final of the year.
All right. All right. Can you give me one story from your time at Juventus that you always love to share with fans or anything? Like one moment or a story that kind of epitomizes your time at Juventus?
No, but don't forget that in 71, 72, after that goal with Milan,
Yeah.
a couple of months later, I had the tuberculosis. and I was out of the game for 6 months
Yeah.
because I had problem here, and so, but why I have to think about something bad? I should think about the I came back, winning six leagues, the top scorer league, the UEFA Cup. Okay, that was a part of my life. Was not a lucky part, but was just a part. And being able to strong with my family, my wife, my mother, my father, my first girl, sorry, and was probably the greatest victory in my life. But I was back.
Obviously persevered and did so fantastically. You had a great career. You meant so much to so many Juventini. I told you before we started, my father, huge fan, Bobby Goal, Bettega, and
Yeah.
I appreciate so much you taking the time to come and talk with me for this show and spread the passion.
You understand that Juventus is something special for me. That when I speak with Juventus, it's more important Juventus than myself.
Yeah.
That's, but I am happy about that. I am happy.
That's beautiful stuff. Yes, you are a true Juventino. You've showed it time and time again, and you continue to do so after all these years. It is great stuff. Fully deserved Legacy Award, which you will be receiving with the official fan
Thank
club in
you.
Toronto. Great stuff. And again, I can't thank you enough for taking this time, Roberto. So thank you very much. And my father would like to thank you for all the wonderful memories you gave him as a player. And of course, you gave us as well as part of the presidency, vice president, building some fantastic clubs that gave us great memories for many years. So thank you very much.
Don't forget that soccer is not a single game; it's a team game. So Bettega was a part of the victory. Juventus was the winner. Remember
Absolutely.
that anytime.
You said it very well. It is a team game, and it is all about the team.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Roberto.
Thank you to you, and a nice hello, bye bye to everyone.